Okay, time to play some Zelda 2. Register a new name. Ooh, cleared my throat. Let's see, how about Lon? Alright. Lon is going to go on an adventure in Hyrule. Lon is throwing swords. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab this magic container from this cave to the southwest. Go into the cave, and it's all dark because I don't have the candle, but I know this cave alright decently well. Kill these pesky beetle-like things, and I've got some octo rocks right here. They throw some rocks, or whatever you want to call them. They look like little fuzzballs at me. And then I'm going to grab that magic container, because we all know that Link is a magic addict. Now that I've cleared the cave, I can walk briskly out. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up north. I'm going to go to the trophy cave, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that trophy. And grab the jump spell. I'm going to attempt, it probably won't work, but I'm going to attempt to do the healer glitch so I can get Downstab right away in the game. And I think that would be pretty darn awesome to have Downstab before I even go to Palace number 1. Got 2 Octo Rocks up here. I'm not going to kill... I'm going to take life number 1, or number 2. I'm not going to kill this guy right here. I'm going to grab that trophy. Hopefully he doesn't troll me too bad on the way back. So I've got that. There's that bat again. Just walk right past him since he didn't knock me in the lava. Go ahead and grab that jump spell from the town, the mountainous town, right up here. Got the trophy, so I've got to go find the woman to give it to, but first I'm going to get a little bit of health from that lady right there. Lady in red, giving me health. Alright. Okay, from this house, another lady in red. Yep, got the trophy. Going here, and we are gonna go to the creepy old wise man in the basement. Creepy old wise man, let me get on my knees and talk to you. Ooh, he's gonna give me the jump spell. Tell me I can jump very high. Well, thank you, creepy old wise man. So that will allow me to jump up into the church if the healer glitch goes well. I don't think I will get it because I never have gotten it, but it'd be fun if I did. I would love to be able to actually have Downstab prior to going into Palace number 1. So that means that we gotta go back to the east, and we're gonna go to the town in the east of Rauru, I believe it's called. Oh, I'm gonna take a little detour. Oh, seriously? There's actually supposed to be an encounter with some bats and a pea bag. You get that 50-point pea bag right there. Got the 50-point pea bag. That way I can start to set myself up for getting Sword 2 prior to going into the palace. That's what I really want. Prior to going into Palace number 1, I do want Sword 2, even if this healer glitch thing does not work out for me. That way, it makes it just a tad bit easier to get Sword 4 before I get out. So here's the healer. I'm going to pass her up for now. I'm going to go past her, and I'm going to go to this second building, this little squat white one. Talk to this lady. And just like the lady inside the other town, there is another creepy old wise man inside of this town as well. And he gives us the shield spell. I like the shield spell. I use it a lot in Palace 1, and I use it a lot in Death Mountain. That's because life is so low at this point in the game that it's nice to be able to get that buff that the shield spell uses. What the shield spell does is it reduces the damage that you take. I don't know what the exact amount is. However, if you've ever played Zelda 2 before, you understand you get hit a lot and it can be pretty rough. So we've got our shield spell. Time to go back and try that healer glitch. So what the idea is, you stand in the doorway, and when she comes and walks and her nose hits the window to the left, you talk to her, and then you talk to her on the way back, and if you get this frame perfect, I talked to the wrong lady. If you get this frame perfect, then she will walk in the wrong direction, and she'll warp you. Oh, that didn't work. We'll try it one more time before I move on. One more time, lady. Alright. Oh. She'll go to the other side. She'll warp you to Glitch Town. And from Glitch Town, you can go ahead and you can warp yourself to the graveyard below the town where you get Downstab. And that's nice because you usually have to have the hammer before you go in there. As I said, I do want to be Sword 2 before I go to the to Palace 1, so I'm going to go ahead and grind some stuff in the grass floor a little bit, if I can get the enemy spawns, that is. I don't like big ones, I like the small ones. And of course, get a path hit, that's not what I want. It's going to take a lot longer than I anticipated. There we go. Now what's nice, you can just stand here and grind them for a little bit. And if I'm lucky, I'll get a couple pea bag drops right away. And I find just trying to grind a simple level right at the beginning of the game, using this technique is fairly easy. And I want to emphasize how important it is to actually have Sword 4 prior to going into Death Mountain. Death Mountain is such a ridiculous challenge at this point in the game. And if you don't have Sword 4, it is extraordinarily rough because you have some of the enemies in there that hit hard and take a few hits to kill. And if you do not have enough strength of your sword, they'll wipe you out pretty quickly before you can even kill them. And you have to have a very good pattern down not to get hit by their axes. Arrgh. Darn jars. I don't want these jars. Getting very unlucky with the drops. 1 out of every 6 of those should be a pea bag, but I haven't got a pea bag drop yet. Got all magic containers. Super unlucky. Get over here! See, another magic container. Should have had at least 1 pea bag drop by now. Very unfortunate. And I also think that grinding those little blob guys, they're actually called bots, is a nice way to get a feel for the game if you have never played before. Because these guys you're going to see throughout the entire game, and they have some of the best random movement in the entire game. So if you get an idea about their random movement, from grinding them a little bit, it'll help you throughout the entire game. So I just suggest taking 10-15 minutes just to grind them anyway. One, to get to Sword 2, but another thing is just to be able to understand their random movement. Another jar, are you kidding me? I cannot believe I've not gotten a tea bag. I have to grind this entire level, 2 by 2. Nah. What's nice to remember is that these bots also respawn on the same screen. And they do have the ability to drop little magic jars. When you start to play this game a little bit further, and you run out of magic, understanding this, remember this is great, because other enemies don't necessarily stay on the screen or respawn. So you can just go ahead and grind these guys out. So there's attack 2. Now these guys should take a hit. I'm gonna go back to Shield Town in order to get my health refilled. I'm gonna try the healer glitch one more time, huh? Just for the fun of it. Maybe it'll work this time. Nope. Okay, now time to go up to the cave that leads us to Parapa Desert. And here there's one enemy. I don't know what they're called, but they look like giant beetles. Oh, there's a pea bag when I don't need it. And you can see their shadow on the floor. That's how you know where they're at. I'm going down south first because I want to be able to get the heart container. I'm going to try and do an encounter skip for the bubbles, because sometimes these bubbles control you pretty bad. And if you hit the bubble wrongly, you'll throw you into that water. And if you're thrown into that water, you lose a life. Go ahead and grab the heart. Yep. It's terrible. See how that big teddy bear throwing those boomerangs hit me even though I was in the middle of grabbing something? So enemies can hit you in that way, and that kind of sucks if you're trying to keep your beam sword with having full health right here, because that doesn't let you do that, and you can't do anything to dodge it. It just happens to be if you get lucky or not. So now it'd be nice if I could get a fairy before I go to the palace, but I doubt that'll happen. It usually doesn't. Palace number 1, the Palace of Parapa, or the Desert Palace. When I go downstairs, I'm going to go immediately to the left, and what you're going to notice is that there are these possum-looking things. And I'm doing really bad at dodging them right now, but you really want to dodge them because they take your experience. Either that or kill them. I'm going to skip the skeleton for now. Come back and I'm gonna knock them in the legs. I think all that benefit I got from having that extra pea bag just went away. Hitting all these guys. Now, if you can crouch hit them. My timing's off right now, but if you can crouch hit them, just like that, you can get through things faster because you don't lose that forward momentum. Because if I'm just standing still, I lose that momentum. skeletons. So I did so poorly with that first area of the castle. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this fairy here after I'm out of this little section. So there's gonna be a fairy after the elevator. I'm gonna grab it. I usually don't like grabbing it right here, but I keep finding I have to more and more. And go up the stairs. I'm gonna have a few more of those possum-looking things coming at me. Boom. One that's up here. What's nice about the beam sword too is that those guys can throw the beam at them, so you don't have to be right next to them. Now with this, I'm going to have these possum guys, and I'm going to run forward, and I have this weird looking thing that throws Tootsie Rolls at me. And usually you can just kind of jump right in and be able to hit him. And as I said, my goal here is to get out of this palace with Sword 4. It's my entire goal. Get the candle, defeat the boss, and have Sword 4. I want Sword 4 because it will make Death Mountain so much easier. Catch up to this guy, hit him in the back. Because he'll bounce back at us when we get near the elevator. That becomes more dangerous. Go back over to the left. And these things are called bubbles right here. And what's nice is if you strike them, you can walk right through them. And that's a handy thing to know. When I was a kid, I didn't know that, and I would sit there and try and kill those blobs. They take so many hits to kill. Now this room is very trolly because you have all these bubbles right here, and I usually get hit at least once or twice when I run through this room. These bots will troll you too. It's going to be a 50-point P bag. I want to grab that. Quick little stab and you can grab that pea bag. Don't dawdle on the bridge or else you will definitely fall in the lava and the bridge collapses. I'm trying to wait for these guys to do something so that they don't jump into me. And here I will use shield, and then I'm going to just walk forward because I have another Tootsie Roll guy throwing stuff, and usually when you walk forward you'll dodge getting hit. And then this is our first gold iron knuckle. And with him, you just jump and hit him in the head. Press forward a little bit, and he dies. You shouldn't get hit by the gold or red iron knuckles if you do that technique right. The blue ones, you've got to jackhammer them, and I have not mastered that technique yet. It's a little bit more advanced. Again, I'm waiting to see what these guys are going to do. Bubble troll room. Oh, I hate it when he jumps like that, because sometimes he'll get me on the way up the elevator. Thankfully, he didn't. Okay, so now I can go back to the end of the castle. When I go down, I'm going to have to deal with a gold iron knuckle, a couple of skeletons. Again, simple technique for the gold iron knuckles. For the skeletons, the easiest technique here is just wait for them to get up next to you and hit them in the feet. If they don't come close enough like this, back up a little bit and move forward, and you can hit them in the feet. Here, I just move forward. I usually get hit here. I haven't figured out the entire pattern for this guy yet. We've got another gold iron knuckle. So we're approaching. And then we have the boss, Horsehead. I recommend using shield for Horsehead. What you do with Horsehead is you gotta hit him in the ears. Not in the nose, but the ears. And what I like to do is typically just squat jump and then jump back. Now we got him. He'll drop a key, grab the key with our sword, open the door, then we're going to plant the jewel or the crystal back into whatever this is. It looks like a weird shrine. And it refills our health and magic, and we have our experience that goes up to 1,000 if we've planned it right, and that allows us to get attack 4 coming out of Palace 1, and that is extremely helpful. So I've got all 3 of my lives, and I've got attack 4, so it's a great time to just move to going to the get the hammer. I like to have all 3 of my lives be by the time when I get to the hammer cave, because the hammer cave is so difficult. Well, I would say Death Mountain or the series of hammer caves. I'm not speaking right. Death Mountain. By the time I get to Death Mountain, I like to have all 3 of my lives. If I only have 2, it makes it that much harder. We've already gotten Jump, but I am going to go into Jump Town just so I can refill my life prior to going through the cave that leads us to the second area. So there's a lady who refills our health. There we go. We're ready to go. Ready to rock and roll. There's a couple trolling areas inside of this cave down here. Best bet is just take your time. Use Octo Rocks, Octo guys. You can see with that guy on the uneven ledge, he sometimes hits ya. And that's the best case scenario, is getting out of that first area unhit. And we have the second area where we have those beetle things again. And we've got we got a couple on the floor here, and we have a blue bear. And the blue bear takes more hits. So it's usually, I would suggest using a shield here, just in case the battle goes wrong. Oh, he's not blue. He's orange. So I guess he doesn't take that many hits, but I just thought he was blue because he seems so hard. So best case scenario, we get out of there without taking a hit. I've seen some people will use jump here. I find it harder to hit the bats when I have jump active. And that red guy will shoot fire at you. And to get up here, you need to use your jump spell. And then we can get out of here. If you did lose life, you'll see that forest area to the right. That will have a fairy in it in case you need to restore your health. Oh, bad hit. First thing we need to do is we need to go to Bagoo's place. And he's in the forest. So I'm going to take the back way to Bagoo's. And that's because if I don't take the back way, there's some trolling encounters with a bunch of those jumping frog-like things, which are actually called cats. and you typically... it can be a difficult time. So you talk to that guy, and he will tell you to hand a note to the riverman. Now you can go ahead, and we're going to go down, cross this bridge, and this bridge is going to take us to Lifetown. I don't know the real names of the towns, I just call them by the spells you get. These guys will take your XP if you get hit by them, so you try not to get hit by them. I screwed up and I got hit a couple times. That forest down there to the right also contains a pea bag, I believe. Go ahead and go into Lifetown. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the life spell. But we need to grab this mirror from the first house in the second section. Crouch down. Link will talk. One of the only times Link ever talks in any of the Zelda games. It says he has found a mirror. I talk to this lady. After I've got her mirror, I can go ahead and we can see the wise old man. Talk to the wise old man, and he gives you the life spell. And the life spell is essential in this game. It is one of the most used, probably the most used spells in the entire game. It doesn't restore your life fully, but it does restore a few points of life. I'm going to use my life spell now, because the magic lady's right here. I'll talk to the magic lady, and then I'll have her restore my magic. That's a neat trick you can use if you're only a couple of bars down on your life meter. You can cast life, and then you just restore your magic, and that can save you a trip instead of having to visit both the magic lady and the life lady. Now we're at Death Mountain. Trip of Death Mountain. Always go right. Unless you can't go right, then you just follow whatever path you can go that wasn't where you just were. So let's go right. First couple caves are not too bad. Because I don't need that. There's going to be a couple of red guys. You want beam sword for those guys, because if you get too close, see if they can do that. And that's really a problem. I don't like losing beam this early. Usually you don't want to lose beam this early. I'm going to cast life right now. See, it takes a ton of my magic up, but it gives me my beam back. I usually don't get hit in that first cave when I've got beam, but I did. I mean, just take it slow here. If you want to go faster, you can just always jump and crouch. We're going to now have one of those teddy bear guys. I like to use my shield here in case things go bad. And then we've got a couple more Octo Rocks. Again, take it slow. Try not to get hit by these guys. Yeah, I guess I'll take life 3. This is the first cave where we're going to encounter some of the more difficult enemies in this cave. There's these orange and these red. They look kind of like lizard people, and they hit really hard. I don't have enough magic to cast shield, but what you want to do is you want to pay attention to where their axes are going and hit them when they aren't swinging their axes. And typically, you're going to do a jump. You're going to jump into their heads and crouch. Kind of like the same tactic that you use with Horsehead. You jump into them, back away. Jump in, back away. And you can, typically with that strategy, you will kill them with only getting hit 1 or 2 times. My goal with this bridge is just to get out of here as fast as I can, because it can go bad really quickly, as you can see. That's why I didn't go back and grab that magic jar, because if I went back, it's just going to spawn more and more of those, whatever they are. I'm a little frustrated here because I don't have enough life to cast shield, or enough magic to cast shield, or enough magic to cast jump. And there's going to be the hardest kind of enemy in this cave, and those red dinosaur things. So just swing an axe and throw them at you. Oh, lucky. Still don't have enough magic to cast jump to grab that red jar. So I'm going to go ahead and grind some of these bots until I get enough magic. It won't take that long. But why I really want that is it's going to refill my magic and allow me to cast life, so I can get a refill on my life here. Now I can cast jump. Jump up. Q life. And then full life when I go into the next cave. This cave is a difficult one. Again, I wish I could cast shield here, but I just don't have the magic to do so. I'm trying not to have that bat swoop at me. That's why I'm sticking over this way, so I can avoid that bat hitting me. It would have been great. So I didn't completely do that. Now this next section, I'm going to have 2 or 3 bats, and then one of these orange guys. I'll definitely take the magic refill. I'm going to quickly cast life. Oh, shoot. I screwed up. I meant to cast life, not shield. That'll be alright. Because this should allow me to cast life. And then with this cave, I've got some blobs, bots, and I've got a couple of these orange dinosaur guys. I usually like to cast shield here too, just because if I get hit, they just take away so much life. I think I'm getting close to a level up for either life or magic anyway, so there's going to be another guy. I'm actually in a very good position right now in this cave, because I have not lost a life yet this run. And so, if I can maintain that, then I will be in very good position getting into Hammer Cave. So Death Mountain, another one of these orange guys. Hopefully, I got a couple of them in this cave. Well, there's one more guy coming up here in a second. And there's going to be a red jar at the end of this cave too, which is nice because now I'm going to have full life, full health, and full magic going into Hammer Cave if I don't mess up and get hit. And this is really the ideal situation, having 3 lives, full bars. Now I shouldn't have a problem getting through Hammer Cave now. Now in Hammer Cave, the first thing I'm going to encounter is I'm going to encounter one of these red guys. And if you got the rhythm down, you can kill them that easily, and that way you don't have to take a lot of hits and you still have your full life. Next, I'm going to get a couple of those fire-breathing vampires with some beetles. Try not to get hit by those guys. If they do shoot fire at you, try and dodge it. I didn't quite dodge it there. But that's why I wear shield right there, so that I can try and survive. Now we've got some cats. I'll just stand here and get rid of those first two, and then spam the sword button at the bottom of that cave and take care of that guy. Now here you want to go down, and when we go down, there's going to be one of the red guys right here. I do want to kill him. Didn't really want that, but that's good. I mean, that's fine. I would have preferred to have a pea bag, but that's okay. Now we just gotta make our way through this series of caves. Now, when we get, or these ledges, right? When we get to this guy, you're gonna see a spiked blob. Wait for him to jump down the pit. Then continue on. If you're not too comfortable with those jumps, take your time. Here we're gonna have one orange guy. And then we're going to have a red guy. I'm going to grab the hammer. And now we're done with that part of Hammer Cave. We just go back out and grab our next magic container. So again, we have these ledges we need to jump on. Careful about that blob. Let him fall down into the lava. And continue on the journey through Death Mountain. Go out the way you came. There is a pea bag in here if you want to collect some more experience points, and there's another red magic jar if you want to go ahead and get those. I don't usually get them when I'm working on a Hammer Cave, because I don't like spending too much time here. I like to get the hammer and go. Bust open the hammer. Bust open the rock with the hammer. And then we're going to go to the right and grab the magic container. I'm going to dip into this cave really quickly and then walk right out. And that's to reduce enemy spawns. Now this cave has got a bunch of octo rocks, so careful not to get knocked off the ledge like I almost did. You have some strong jump or long jumps. And now the coast is clear until we get to the bridge. And then we have two sections of this bridge. The first section contains some of those red goblins and a blue goblin. Second section is a bit more difficult since it has bubbles. You might want to use shield here as well because we have our favorite enemy. And this makes it more difficult because we have to not only deal with him, but we have to deal with the bubbles as well. And so I rarely get out of there without taking a hit or two. And then we can go ahead and go over to Fairy Town. We can't get Fairy yet, but what I want to do here is I want to get Down Thrust or Downstab. Now make sure I have enough magic to cast Jump though. Because now we can go to the church, go in here and get Downstab. And I want Downstab before I rescue or get the I have to get the medicine from the cave to get the fairy, because it makes it a little bit easier. We've got to deal with a lot of those X guys again, the X reptilian dinosaur looking things. So now we have Downstab, which is the most overpowered move in the history of Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, and that is when we jump, we press down, we can jump and do damage to enemies. So that's the run that I usually take when I start the game. That way I have the hammer fairly quickly, downstab fairly quickly, and I can get through that without too much of a hassle.